Hello guys, once again welcome back to my channel. My name is Emmanuel. On this channel I give you a lot of value, so please, if you haven't subscribed, please do well to subscribe to this channel. Like this video, let me know what you think about this video, give me your comment, and then let's get the discussion going. Today I'm going to focus heavily on the educational system of Ghana and how this system is primarily designed to necessarily keep you poor and dependent on the system and frustrate you in the system. Look, I grew up in Ghana. Well, I've actually left the country and I'm currently living and working in Germany. But there are certain things that I have realized that the educational system in Ghana was never designed to actually liberate people in Ghana to think freely outside the job market. So every year our university churns out thousands of employees, thousands of graduates ready for the job market. And if you ask all of the graduates what they want to do, all they think about is that I have to prepare my CV, I have to get a job to do and all that. You know, whilst that is all good, at the end of the day, you ask yourself, do you want to work for the rest of your life? You're going to work for how long? 30, 50 years? I mean, for the rest of your life? And then at the end of the day, if the government also messes up with your pension, then that's it. Like right now, our pensioners in Ghana, their funds are being dissipated by the government as a result of mismanagement of the economy. So yes, are you going to put your life in the hands of the government just so that when you're on retirement, the government now takes care of you? I want to disabuse your mind from such a misconception, such a mindset that has had its stronghold on the Ghanaian graduates. So if you're in Ghana right now and you're watching me, please, I will have some tips for you in order to escape the rat race of the Ghana educational system. Now, to begin with, our educational system fails to teach us any form of entrepreneurship. So look at your educational curriculum. I don't care what you studied, whatever you studied, everything is engineered towards the job market. Okay, so I studied land economy and real estate and everything, and when I studied land economy, which is the real estate version of Ghana, all I had to learn was about how to manage real estate, how to manage land, how to go into the job market and become a professional valuer and all, and that was good. But I remember when I graduated the university, most of my friends just went into got a job, and those jobs were paying them peanuts, like around somewhere taking as low as 800 Ghana cedis for 1,000 Ghana cedis. The highest was like around 1,500 Ghana cedis or so, and that was around 2013. So I think that it was a bit better around that time. But even with that, I think it still was not enough, because I kept asking myself questions that why, But you had graduates that were scrambling for those jobs, because at the end of the day it gives them job security. They don't have to worry about what happens the following month, because at the end of the day a certain paycheck will come. Well, I broke out of that mentality, and what I did was to start a company together with my friends, a real estate consulting company, because we realized that there's an opportunity. This is what the school system did not teach us. They did not teach us to identify opportunities in the market. Well, me and my friends realized that there are opportunities in the market. The real estate industry in Ghana is chaotic. There are virtually no laws regulating anything. People do whatever they want. Land litigation issues were all over the place, and me and my friends, we said, hey, can we help people? We identified it and started a real estate consulting company, and we were successful. Our first attempt, we made 7,000 Ghana cedis in our first deal. Subsequent deals came, we're making a lot of money. The thing is that the the educational system did not teach us that we have to just go to the market and strive for ourselves. That is a shame, you know. The second thing that the education system did not teach in Ghana is the difference between assets and liabilities. I've always wondered why, because understanding the differences between an asset, or what constitutes an asset and what constitutes a liability, is going to change your life or your perspectives in life forever. I've seen many people buy their liabilities in life at a very early stage in life, and that liability has gone ahead to eat them alive. I made similar mistakes when I started making some money, and instead of investing my money into the money that I was making into assets, what I was doing is I was buying a lot of liabilities to show off. So it is not unusual that a lot of graduates, after completing school, after a few days of completing school, will save up money and go and buy a car, you know, to show off, not knowing that's what they are doing is that they are piling up on their liability. Their asset has stagnated, but they keep piling on liabilities, and at the end of the day, they have nothing to show for. All right, so what is the difference between an asset and liability? An asset is anything, any venture, anything that takes out, that puts money in your bank account, that is an asset. Anything that puts money literally in your bank account is an asset. So your job is an asset. But the thing is this: how long are you going to keep your job for? Okay, there's so many things. If you have a side business apart from your job, it's also an asset, because at the end of the day, that those side businesses are pouring into your bank account. You have an investment, it's also an asset, because that investment is yielding interest. Although in recent times you can't trust the investment market in Ghana because of the market volatility, but at least, you know, if you have an investment, that investment is giving money or pouring money into your, you know, asset category. So every graduate, in my understanding, in my opinion, should understand the difference between an asset and a liability. Now, liability on the other side is anything that takes money away from your pocket. So your car that you have been fueling I mean, it's amazing how cars can drain people in Ghana. You know, the fuel costs, the maintenance, because Ghana road is poorly maintained, and you are more likely to pay so much for maintenance. The cars that they ship to Ghana are of poor quality because they are used cars, and a whole lot of things. And many people rush to buy those cars only for them to, you know, push a lot of money from their assets generating portfolios into their liabilities. If you're paying rent, it's also a liability. It's, at least in the Ghanaian context, your phone bills, your data, I mean, the things, the food, the money you use for food and everything, they are all liabilities. The money you give out to charity and the ones you give out to relatives, they are all things that are being taken away from your pocket. It's so amazing that the school system did not teach us, you know, because at least if they have taught us this, we'll be able to manage, you know, our finances very well, in order to do very well. So they didn't teach us, but now you know the difference between an asset and liability. The next thing the education system in Ghana failed to teach us is they didn't teach us about how we can convert our nominal income into an asset or into cash flows. Now, what do I mean by nominal income and what do I mean by cash flows? So nominal income are normally the incomes you get on a regular basis, okay, for example, your job. Okay, so you have a job, you are being paid a certain amount of money, let's say 3,000 Ghana cedis or 2,500 Ghana cedis. At the end of the day, when you receive the paycheck, what you have to do is to convert those regular money, into an income or a cash flow generating asset. Put it into something that will generate income back to you. So in my case, in my experience, I advise people to invest in real estate or invest in buying land, because especially in Ghana, if you buy land in Ghana, it's generate a lot of profit, because In Ghana, for example, if you buy land just after 1 year, the land price may even double. In some cases, it might even triple. So that's why you have to take money from your nominal income, invest it in an asset. It might not necessarily also be in real estate. It could be in anything. It could be in a side hustle. It could be in an online business. It could be on a delivery business. I know a lady who does a delivery business. I know a lady who also does buying and selling, trading. At the end of the day, make sure that your source of income is not just one. You have to work on generating multiple streams of income from different sources, because believe it or not, your job is not safe. Your job is not secure. Your job is not secure. When the pandemic taught us a lot, many people lost their job during the corona pandemic, and the question you ask yourself is, if you did not have different streams of income and now you've lost your day job, what are you going to do? So that is the thing you need to understand. The next thing is that they didn't teach us the exit plan. Now, what do I mean by an exit plan? They taught us to work our life till we reach the pension age, and at the end of the day, probably we also invested all our lives building a monstrous house, and we put it there, and then at the end of the day, when we go on pension, we go and live in that house and hoping that SNIT will pay us some money to take care of us. Well, by the time you are at old age and SNIT is paying your pension, by that time inflation would have caught up with your money. Inflation, the exchange rate, everything would have caught up with your money. Remember, Ghana is an import dependent economy, so everything we consume in Ghana is imported. So if the city keeps on depreciating and depreciating, by the time you reach retirement, imagine, or plus together with inflation, even if they give you 10,000 Ghana cedis for your retirement per month, that wouldn't be enough. It would be like today's equivalent of 500 Ghana cedis, and that is what you need to think about. Think about an exit plan. Think about your life. Are you going to do your job for the rest of your life? Is there any income generating assets that you can invest in that can support you even till the time you are on retirement? Let's think outside the box. Think through things and see that, okay, we need to have an exit plan. I always tell people that if you work after 10 years, you don't have to keep doing the same job, because after 10 years, you would have acquired a lot of experience to start something on your own, or you could have acquired a lot of money in that case to convert it into an asset generating income. If you don't have that exit plan, and mostly your life is all about hand to mouth, get your paycheck, pay your bills for children and your rent and all that, and start it all over again. It got to a point that you have to say, hey, let me pause and think about this, because this does not make sense anymore, and this is what I think sincerely we should be doing in Ghana, because the educational system has failed us a lot. Okay, so if you enjoy this short advices, please, I ask you to subscribe to this channel. Please don't forget to subscribe, like this video. Let me know what you think about the Ghana educational system and all that I've talked about. Ciao.